Hello and welcome to the 12th episode of the Backburners. I'm Dylan Sherman.
And I'm Sam Tiller. We want to thank you for lending your ears for another hour of non-stop sports entertainment.
We have a new face in the studio.
A lovely, lovely face.
You want to introduce him?
He is our roommate, the man of dad jokes, Miles Walton.
Say
welcome.
hi, babe.
It's good to be here, guys. Thanks for the intro.
Yes, welcome.
You should say our new and much better roommate.
Wow.
And Chef LaRocca is here.
Not much better.
A little bit, though.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I have for our banter. Well, this is a sports podcast hosted by two former jocks whose sports knowledge is a mile wide and an inch deep. Whether it's breaking down the latest slate of professional, college, and obscure sports, or debating the best game day traditions, we've got you covered. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Backburners Pod, and give us a listen on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Pods.
You need to stop it with the Apple Pod shit.
I know.
Just right now.
I know. I'm sorry. I'll be better. I'll do better.
Good.
You never heard of a bit, Tiller?
Yeah, but it's a horrible bit. Like, if he did that bit in a comedy club, there would be crickets.
That's
We're
not a stand.
We're not in a comedy club.
That's not a stand-up bit.
Okay, let's take a poll. Who likes it when Sherm talks about how amazing Apple Pods is?
Well, if you ever listen to like Call Her Daddy, probably not. But on Call Her Daddy, she has questions of the week, and she says it in a really garbage, borderline racist French accent, where she's like, questions of the week, and it's really terrible. But it's like so bad at this point that you just kind of like almost have to laugh at it, even though it's really atrocious. I think that's where we're kind of getting on the Apple Podcast bit.
Is imitating a French accent racist, or is it more?
No, because they're white.
Right. Is it more? Is it more?
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Is it
like,
more
come on.
country-ist?
It's more like derogatory, I guess I would say.
Yeah, but everyone does a French accent.
Oh.
Oui,
bonjour.
welcome to the Backburners.
Say you like crepes.
Do you like escargot?
A really thin
This is a
pancake.
sports podcast.
Just say you
right?
like a really thin
Yes.
pancake.
Right. This is a sports podcast.
I
right?
mean,
Obviously, you've never
Kinda.
listened, Miles.
yeah.
Miles, do you know what
Just one.
ADHD is?
I'm pretty sure I have it, but I have no idea what it is.
Yeah. Welcome to my living hell. With all that tomfoolery aside, let's get into some I disagree. It's my prompt this week, and I wanted to change it up a little bit, where it's a little more personal, I guess, kind of personal preference. My prompt this week was for the two of us to build our perfect game day feast. Should we go round by round?
Yeah, sure.
Starting with apps.
Yeah.
So we have an appetizer, an entree, a side, and a beverage. What's your preferred game day appetizer?
Queso or guacamole?
So you can't do two. It has to be one. Has to be one. You choose.
Then I gotta go guac.
Okay.
It's so good. Like, my mother makes some of the best guac ever, and she puts cilantro in it. And I know
Nope.
you hate cilantro.
Nope.
But it's just great. Like, you get it with a little salty corn tortilla chip, and I could eat just an unhealthy amount of guacamole, and I always have to refrain myself from eating too much guacamole to where I can't do like the rest of it because it's so good. It's so addicting. There's no better game day food than guacamole. It is so superior to everything else.
Yeah, game day is one of those things where, you know, it's like Super Bowl, 4th of July, New Year's Eve, Christmas, Thanksgiving. Those are like the 5 days a year where calories don't count.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
especially the Super Bowl. Holy shit, can I put some food down in the Super Bowl?
And guac is like one of those game day staples.
It's healthy.
Where it's like if you show up to a football party or whatever, if you're going to somebody's house or you're having people over your house to watch a game and you don't have guac, they're going to be like, what the fuck?
Jail. Straight to jail.
Yeah. Where's the guac?
Right.
You have to have it. It's the best. There's no question about it.
Yeah, it's a tough one, you know. Guac is one of those foods where you can eat it any time of the day.
Yeah.
Avocado specifically.
And
you know?
when it's like a day, like when you have leftover guac, it's so much better.
Ooh, I disagree vehemently.
It might be
Do you know what happens to avocados?
It might be a little brown, but it lets all the flavors marinate in it, and it's better the day after.
Were you born in a trailer?
No, it's a fact. It's like, okay, if you marinate steak for an hour versus 24 hours, like it's going to have more flavor. It's going to be better.
What? You like brown avocados? Are
No,
you
I'm
out
not-
of your mind?
No, I'm not
I mean,
saying
he's from
like
Oregon. I don't really trust any of his
Good
guac takes.
God. Jeez. No. You have lost speaking privileges for at least 30 seconds. Good fucking God. Okay. My appetizer, it's underrated, I think. I think it's underrated, and it's one of those ones when you see it and you're not expecting it, you're like, "Oh shit."
yeah,
and that
'cause you kind
is-
of forget about it.
It's pigs in a blanket. Now, Miles, you are the king of pigs in a blanket.
That you are.
If you weren't going to say it, I was.
Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, I'll say it again. If you weren't going to say it, I was. And the key to it is Hawaiian bread croissant rolls.
Yes.
Yep.
It has to be made with the Hawaiian bread. It's the game changer.
And you brought those for the last Friendsgiving, right? You brought a whole fucking big old Tupperware of them.
I think I made them for Friendsgiving and for
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, pigs in a blanket is one of those ones where it's so forgotten, but once you see it, like, oh, dude, I could eat 7. Yeah, sure. Dunk it in a little honey mustard, maybe a little sriracha, maybe a little ranch. The just the salty and the sweet and the kind of the crispy. You got the outside of the roll. Sign me up.
Speaking being a big advocator of hot dogs, corn dogs, and anything in that making, like pigs in a blanket are so slept on because they're
really
in
are.
the problem is they're in that category. So like if you bring them, I feel like at a lot of events, people think it's kind of like white trash to have pigs in a blanket.
I disagree.
No,
I think it's a great
I
snack.
disagree with all of them. They're all wrong. But like I feel like that's what society's wanted us to believe.
I think it's a great treat. It's a great treat.
It is.
Okay, for my entree, I'm double dipping a little bit.
Yeah. And I don't really like that, but go ahead.
It's not up to you. It's up to me. My entree, my preferred game day entree, I want 2 beer brats with a spicy mustard and grilled onions.
No cream cheese?
No, you know, the Seattle dog is only when I'm hammered.
Okay.
That's the only acceptable time for a Seattle dog.
Okay.
And for the people who live outside of Seattle, a Seattle dog is a nice juicy brat, some cream cheese, grilled onions, and bacon.
Where do you get an original Seattle dog? I've never heard of that.
Gator dog.
Well, R.I.P. Gator dog.
Yeah.
What do you mean R.I.P.?
It's no longer Gator dog.
What is it?
He's just not there. Renee's not there anymore.
It's some
He's
other
just
shit
gone.
now.
Oh, is it Foxy?
No, it's outside of Hannah's to the left. I guess it's that now. I don't know.
There's still one on the corner across from Strange Love.
Nope.
Well,
Yes, like kitty corner. Yeah.
Yeah, like the one
But
in
that
front of
guy
the
is
Strange
old and he wears overalls and his fingernails are grossly long.
But
Should
you can give them Dutch
So-
Bros gift cards for or Dutch Bros punch cards for free hot dogs.
yeah, I got a hot
the
dog
fuck?
there once. It was an interesting experience just because, you know, the entire time that I've had food downtown, it's always Gator Dog. And I went to this, you know, this place across the street. It's right across the street from Jimmy John's. And, yeah, the guy working there, nice guy, wearing overalls. Or no, he was wearing a wife beater.
Overalls.
An apron.
Oh, apron.
Apron.
Yep.
It's an apron.
Yep.
His fingernails were long and not this color. They were a different color. And he was smoking a cigarette. And I could taste that cigarette in the dog. And I do like
gross.
cigarettes when I'm drinking, but not when I'm eating a hot dog.
That's like New York authentic hot dog right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a little
Yeah.
bit of tobacco in there.
But I am a proponent of the idea that, in from the movie, what is it, Superbad? Yeah, the best kind of foods are dick shaped.
Wow. Okay.
And I will stand by it.
All right. Yeah, I mean,
You're gonna have to list off at least like 5.
Okay. Glizzy, popsicle, corn dog, corn on the cob, and
What's the one from there were some good ones in the movie, like I forget about.
I need a 5th.
asparagus.
No.
I don't know.
Eggplant.
Maybe for you, Taylor.
Eggplant's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. Eggplant.
Eggplant. You
Eggplant.
like
I've
eggplant?
never ate an eggplant.
You know, I
ever.
like an eggplant parm.
Ugh.
All right,
Gross.
that's my entree. What do you got for your entree?
So, first of all, I have a problem with your entree because you're going hot dog. Like, it's
What-
just so much hot dog.
I ask you to the population in this room, what's the problem with hot dog?
See, Trav isn't the only person here that, loves hot dogs. And if you want to take his advice on food,
Also, I'm in on hot dogs, out on brats. Not a big brats guy.
Oh,
There you go.
What?
yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm talking a brat that's boiled in beer, flashed on the grill.
I know we're getting too fancy. I need a hot dog that just came off of a Jackson's roller.
Yeah. He's like a ballpark hot dog. kinda
Ballpark
guy.
hot dog. It's got to be either sitting in water for at least 4 hours, or it has to be on a metal roller in a gas station, preferably a 7-Eleven, for at least 4 hours.
Oh.
That's the best hot dog.
It's just so gross.
I know. It's just I have terrible taste.
How are your insides?
I don't want to know.
Are they
Those
falling apart?
No, we'll find out when I'm 40 and like dying. But I'm fine for right now.
You laying in your deathbed?
Okay.
Hot dog was worth it.
Okay, your
So,
entree.
my entree, hot wings. You can either smoke them or grill them, and then you put them in a crock pot with your spices and your sauce, and you just coat them and you let them sit in there. They stay hot, and you can eat 1,000 of them. Dip them in ranch or blue cheese, whatever you prefer, and hot wings. They just get all just greasy and slimy in your beard, and it's just all over your face and all over your fingers. And hot wings.
I like a hot wing. I like it. I like it a lot. You need a bidet if you're gonna consume.
Thank God we have one.
Well, let's hold the talk on we. I have one.
Yeah, well, the
And
doors
I-
in our house are very easy to unlock.
I feel like it's kind of a violation of my privacy
Mm-mm.
if you use my bidet.
Nope.
Miles, that is not an invitation for you to break into my room and use my bidet.
I already have. It's too late. Twice.
Wow.
I've used it twice.
And he's been here like 3 days.
It's beautiful. I love it.
That's like 0.1 for Alyssa being a better roommate.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of even now.
Yeah.
How the turntables.
Time to start looking for another one.
Yep. Well, what do you got for your side dish?
Garlic bread.
Yeah, solid, but not what I think of for game day.
Yeah. It's a little out there, but like I was just like looking at my like game day menu, and I was thinking, okay, so I have like my veggies with guac, and then I have my meat with hot wings, and then you need a carb.
Sure.
So it was either that or corn, like corn on the cob. But the
Right.
problem with corn on the cob is that's more of a summer food, and you can't really get good corn on the cob in November or December. And
Right.
if we're talking about NFL game days, then you're not going to have corn for a lot of them. You'll have corn in the beginning of the season, but not at the end. So garlic bread.
Okay.
Or garlic like bread bites, like whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Some form of garlic slathered onto a piece of gluten.
Okay. Good. Good. Thank you for that extra description.
Yeah.
I went with baked beans.
It's a good one, especially with a dog. Baked beans and dog, it's a great combo.
It's a great combo. Putting the beans on the dog.
Interesting. That gets a little sloppy for me.
I like it slappy. If there's one thing that I love, it's eating like an absolute animal.
Yeah. That's why I'm surprised you didn't pick hot wings, because when you eat hot wings, it's like up by your eyes. It's disgusting. You just have sauce everywhere, all over your face.
Yeah, I mean, like we both have beards. Mine's a little, better.
Okay.
It is. Can we? We have three. Wait. We have
it's
three.
Longer.
Hold on. We have three people in this room. Raise your hand if you think that I have a better beard than Tiller. That's 2.
Oh, okay.
And that's a majority, and that's a win because Chef LaRocca is, what is it? What do you call it? Denmark or Sweden?
Switzerland. You fucking moron.
They're all the same. They're not. I'm just kidding. Yeah, when you eat kind of food like that, what's the point of wiping your face every time you eat a wing?
No, there's not.
Right? So
just make it gross.
Right. Make it disgusting.
Yeah.
When I eat, it should be the food that's scared. Right?
It's like Sausage Party.
What part?
The part where they're in the kitchen, like when they get taken home from the grocery store and they're in the kitchen and she like starts like eating the baby carrots and they're like, the children. That part.
See, I thought you were talking about the orgy at the end.
No, because that just involves food. I'm talking about the horrifying part where the food is eating people,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
For my beverage, see, I envision this, sitting in a parking lot outside the stadium.
Okay.
And it's usually beer on game days, especially when you're like, you go to a football game that you're not hosting the tailgate. It's usually somebody else that's hosting it. It's usually beer. I like a Kona Big Wave because it really straddles the line between a shitty light beer and a beer with flavor. I think it does a good job of doing both. I like a Kona Big Wave.
It's not a bad beer, and I get what you're saying for beers on game days because there's nothing, like, it's a marathon, not a sprint on a game day. Like, if you start drinking at 10 o'clock at your tailgate for a game day, you can't start pouring Tito's, or you're not going to make it to kickoff. There's just no way.
Right.
So, yeah, beer on game day is superior. I got 10-barrel Nature Calls. It's heavy, and it's an IPA, but it's so good. You can drink a 6-pack of them, and you're hammered.
I wish I had the appreciation for good beer that you do.
Yeah.
I don't want to call it a policy, but I just don't like super heavy beers. I like a hazy on occasion, but when I'm drinking beer, I want it like, I like a light beer. I like a lighter beer. Like we just went to 10 Barrel.
Yeah.
All of their beer is good. I like a lighter beer.
That's fine. That's just personal preference.
Right.
For me, I grew up in the beer capital of the world.
The microbrew.
The microbrew capital of the world. And so I didn't have a choice of what kind of beer I was going to enjoy. It was like, guess what? You are going to like heavy-ass IPAs. And that's what Nature Calls is. Yeah. It's so good. It's creamy. It's hoppy. It's delicious. If you like hoppy beer and you've never tried Nature Calls, go to your grocery store, buy that shit.
Okay.
Non-spawn.
What?
Non-spawn.
Non-spawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a call.
Oh yes.
Let me decline it so I can introduce, and then I'll call him back.
Okay.
We have a very special guest on the pod. He's calling in from Salt Lake City, Utah. His name is Nicholas Coleman, but we like to call him Nicky Scotts.
Because he's from Scottsdale, Arizona.
He's an interesting young man, isn't he? I love
Yes.
him. I adore him so much.
He can say 3 words in an entire conversation, but it makes the whole conversation so much better.
Yeah.
His one-liners are out of this world.
He's not a man of many words, but the words he does speak, you're on the floor cackling.
They are amazing.
So we're going to call him. He has a couple of questions for the Backburners.
Hey, how's it going?
Nicky Scotts.
Long-time listener, first-time caller, baby. Thanks for having me on today.
It's our pleasure to have you on.
What is going on, Nicky Scotts?
Not too much, just on the work grind in Greater Salt Lake. So far, so good. How are things up in Boise?
Same old. It's been real smoky
It has.
Real
and hot.
smoky up here. Smoky and hot. Just like I like it.
How has Salt Lake been with your 4% beer?
They actually got rid of that last year. So big news for me, drinking the real beer. And so that's good, but
Cougars
it's been
put
a
their
lot of
foot
fun,
down.
a lot of golf, a lot of fishing, and there've been a few hikes here and there.
Look at you out in nature, Nikki Scotts.
Yes, sir.
So I understand that you have some questions for us, some burning questions.
Absolutely. So today, I wanted to hear your guys' Mount Rushmore of sports movies, and the only rule is you can't have more than one from the same sport. There's just so many classics. I mean, Rocky, Ford versus Ferrari, 42.
Oh, I didn't
Happy
even think about that
Gilmore,
one.
Shit.
The
42.
Sandlot, Goon, The Benchwarmers, Air Bud. I mean, you name it.
I'm going to have to change up my Mount Rushmore because I totally forgot about Ford
I
versus Ferrari
forgot about Ford versus Ferrari.
and 42. That's such a good movie.
Oh, shit.
All right, you go first. Give me
Okay.
your top 4.
Well, I stand behind mine. It's an impossible question. There's no right answer.
No.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So my Mount Rushmore, Rocky, Sandlot, Blindside, and Coach Carter. With an honorable mention, we'll call it a Butte in this case, a Butte. Semi-pro. I stand behind my picks.
Okay. Yeah. You're not 100% wrong. You're kind of wrong.
Okay.
Okay, so my 4, number 1, I think it's the best sports movie of all time, Miracle. It's so good.
Yes. Yes.
We just watched it today, Nikki Scotts.
Yes, we did. It's so good. I love that movie.
That was actually my number 1 as well.
Yeah, it's a great story. It's a great movie. So that's my number 1. Number 2, the best football movie of all time, Remember the Titans. No question about it. And then 3, I'm going to have to go 42 because Jackie Robinson just, he changed the game of baseball, and that's a great movie. And then I'm going to have to agree with you on Sandlot.
You can't do that because 42 and Sandlot are baseball.
Oh, shit.
That's illegal.
Oh, god damn it. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Nikki, you go next. Give us your top 4, and then I got to think of my 4th.
Okay, yeah. So we actually had a pretty similar list. My number 1 was Miracle on Ice. I
Yep.
mean, Jim Craig, Jack O'Callahan. Just so many great quotes from that, especially the locker room speech he gave.
Do you believe in miracles?
No, that's Al Michaels.
I know, but I'm just saying it's from the,
I'm sick and tired of hearing about what a great hockey team the Soviets have. Fuck them. There's so many great ones. But yeah, that's definitely number 1. And then I agree with Chewy again on number 2, Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
That was definitely my favorite football movie.
Denzel Washington
Strong
is...
side,
Yeah.
left side, strong side. But yeah, and then, I mean, when they come out of the locker room, that's just absolute comedy right there.
And the music in that movie is so good.
I haven't seen that in so long.
That's a great point. That's a great point. And then, yeah, number 3, I got Moneyball.
Ooh.
That was pretty tough between.
That's a good
That was
movie.
tough between the Sandlot, 42, Field and Dreams. But I just love the analytics. Underdog baseball team competing with teams with like 5 times as much
Good old Billy
salary
Bean.
cap. So,
Can they get on base?
yeah,
Can they get on
Billy
base?
Bean.
That's all that matters. Can they get on base?
Yeah, that was a great movie, and one of the reasons I actually got into finance. But for number 4, golf movie, actually. So it's between Happy Gilmore, and then I ended up going with Caddyshack, though.
Yeah.
I think Happy Gilmore's
Grew
better
up-
than Caddyshack.
I mean, I'm a
It's-
little biased with Caddyshack.
It's
I grew up
so
watching
hard to
that one
pit
with my
those
dad.
two. It's so hard to pit those two against each other because they're both slapstick, so funny, just legendary.
Yeah.
Chevy Chase, Bill Murray,
Yeah, that damn
Yeah.
gopher,
Gopher.
that damn gopher, and the baby Ruth. And there are boobies in that movie.
Are there?
There are
Oh,
boobies.
I've seen
absolutely.
Caddyshack.
There's some boobies in Caddyshack. There are boobies.
Okay.
Why do you think it ended up topping the list?
All right. So for my fourth, I'm gonna go with Happy Gilmore. Now that Coleman mentioned it,
You're such a fucking like fair weather. Like
it's so funny. It's so funny. Like
stick by your
when,
picks.
When Shooter McGavin goes, I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast, and Happy goes, you eat pieces of shit for breakfast. Like,
drive for the show, putt for the dough.
it's so funny when they're in the bar and Shooter McGavin's like trying to talk shit to Happy Gilmore, and he's just rhyming, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna eat some hay and sit by the bay. I think I just may, like it's so funny. Happy Gilmore, when the kid is like, or when Happy in the beginning of the movie gets into the batting cage and he starts getting hit with the balls coming out of it, and then the kid gets in there and just gets pummeled, and he's like, ah, like. It's hilarious. It's just so funny. It's so outrageous. It's so funny.
And Carl Weathers as the teacher who just keeps losing his fucking hand.
Yeah, and then he tries to glue it back together.
It's a great movie.
It is.
They're
so
both
funny.
so good. So that you're really picking at straws there.
Mm-hmm.
It really just depends on if you like Sandler or not, I think. So
That's like, I like Sandler, but that's one of his movies, because a lot of his movies, they're funny in the beginning, but then like
you
just
get tired of the accent. You get tired of hearing
exactly.
Yeah.
But Happy Gilmore is one of those movies where you can watch it over and over and over again, and it still makes you laugh every single time. It's funny from start to finish. It's a hilarious movie.
Yeah, there's no right answer. So it's very subjective and very personal. Thank you for that question, Nikki Scott. So you have one more for us, I understand.
Yeah, absolutely. So I got a little special twist for you guys here. If either of you guys pick a Super Bowl long shot, and so what I'm considering a Super Bowl long shot must be at least 20-1 odds, then I'll donate $1,000 to the show for marketing, beer, you name it. It's all yours.
Wow.
And I love spreading the love and supporting the podcast. So who do you guys got? I mean, we got some teams: the Titans, Seahawks, Cowboys, Cardinals. Obviously, that's a big one.
Come on.
Chargers, and like the Vikings. So what
So
do you guys got for me?
let's clarify this before we answer. So if either one of us picks the Super Bowl long shot, we get $1,000.
Yes. So you guys each get one choice. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
Now
Wow.
what happens? Are you going to give us $2,000 if both the hot shots make it to the Super Bowl?
That's true, because you could
I
pick
would-
an
I
AFC
would
and
do
I could
that.
pick an NFC.
Why don't you do NFC? I'll do an AFC.
Okay.
So we're doing. So the odds we're looking at, obviously, it's like plus 1,400, plus 2,000. So we're saying anything above plus 2,000, right?
Yes.
I'm looking at CBS. That's
what I'm looking at.
That's what I'm looking at. So who's your NFC sleeper for the Super Bowl?
It's the Seahawks. Is there anybody like, yeah, you got the Packers, you got the Rams, you got the Niners, you got the Bucks at the top. But if you're going to pick a sleeper for the Super Bowl out of the NFC, it has to be the Seahawks. Russell Wilson.
I figured you would say that.
Well, look, Russell Wilson, those receivers, what should be an improved defense, what should be an improved offensive line, new offensive coordinator. I don't think that they're going to the Super Bowl this year, but if we're looking at outside chances, they're my top pick for the NFC.
Okay. For my AFC pick, I'll go Titans. They always seem to stick around. They always have that fun, week 13 to 17, well, now 18,
Yep.
run where nobody can tackle Derrick Henry. They added Julio Jones. They have A.J. Brown. Tannehill's an elite game manager.
Okay.
We'll call him that. Titans out of the AFC.
Yeah. I like
All
their
right,
head
I like
coach.
that Tennessee pick a lot. But yeah, they're a good team now with Julio and everything. But yeah, Derrick Henry is absolutely unstoppable.
Yeah, I think their offense is going to be really, really good.
Especially at the end of the season where, he tends to have these, these stretches at the end of the season where everyone is hurt, everyone's tired, and they have to tackle Derrick Henry, and he usually runs for like 1,000 yards in 5 games and 7 touchdowns, and it propels him to the playoffs. They made it to the AFC. No, they didn't. So divisional.
No, championship.
Right. Did they?
They played the Chiefs.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
They always just seem to stick around at the end of the year.
The only issue I have with the Titans is they use Derrick Henry too much. So by the time you get 20 games deep into the season, I just think he's just done. His legs are gone. He's tired. He's beat up because, yeah, he is an absolute menace on the field, but you can only take so many hits and then your body is eventually going to wear down. And I think his body does wear down a little bit, and they're a little too reliant on him with their offense. I think with Julio, it's going to be a little different this year, hopefully, but we'll see.
We will see. So those are our picks. The Seahawks and the Titans. If one of them gets it, we win $1,000.
If both of them get it,
Good
we
luck,
win
boys.
$2,000.
Well, that's exciting. I love money, and we haven't made
Shocking.
it. We. What do you mean by that?
It's from your heritage.
Okay. Well, Nikki Scotts, so good to talk to you. We love you. We miss you. Thank you for your insightful questions. They were great questions.
They were great questions.
They were entertaining. They were intriguing.
Probably some of the best questions we've had so far.
Fair enough.
All right. I appreciate that, guys. And thanks for having me on. And hopefully see you guys in November for the Oregon Ducks, Utah Utes football game.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a tough one for me, but we'll figure out something.
All right. Sounds good.
All right,
Go
Nikki
Cardinals,
Scotts.
boys.
Nope, no Cardinals. Nope. All right, buddy. We love you. Miss you. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye, Nikki.
All right. Sounds good. Bye.
What a fun young man he is.
You guys forgot 2 very important movies.
What?
What are those?
Talladega Nights and Dodgeball.
God damn it, dude! See, it's
There's just so
because
many.
Mount Rushmore you only get 4, so
I know,
obviously
it's
you're
not
gonna
enough.
miss.
Yeah,
so
I was trying
many.
to look up like other movies or whatever, and those were like the only 2. I really like Friday Night Lights, but I like the TV show more than the movie, so I wouldn't put the movie in the category. But yeah, Talladega Nights and Dodgeball have to be my 2 favorites. I was also thinking Hot Rod, but I don't know if that counts.
It's more extreme sports.
That's more of a stretch.
Babe.
I had some other ones too, but they like weren't really like, it wasn't a sport with a national division, I guess, so it doesn't really count. But
God, Dodgeball is so good, so underrated, and it's one of those movies where you don't see it for like 3 years, and it pops up on your TV. You're like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna watch Dodgeball. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. Are you serious? So good. And with that being said, let's get into some spicy hot takes. Do you want to kick it off there, pal?
Yeah. So, Justin Fields, he impressed in his preseason
He had a good
debut.
showing.
He had a really good
his
showing.
touchdown pass, I don't mean to interrupt you because I don't do that at all.
Go for it.
Listen. His touchdown pass, there was nobody around.
No.
But his escape from the pocket, his pocket awareness, the way he maneuvered around it was great. It
looked elite.
I'm sure it was a sight for sore eyes for Bears fans.
It was. And I think he's going to start week 1. I think he should start week 1. Andy Dalton is not their quarterback of the future. It's clearly Justin Fields. So if he's ready to go, and by all indications he was in that week 1 preseason game, why not start him? Why not give him the most experience you possibly can in his first year? Let him start. Let him go through the ups and downs of a 17-game year in his rookie season, build that experience, build the character. He should start week 1 for the Bears. There's no question in my mind. Andy Dalton is not the answer. It's Justin Fields.
Yeah, it's so frustrating to watch these teams draft quarterbacks in the first round, especially in the top 10, top 15.
He was 12.
Yeah, call it top 15, right? When you're drafting a quarterback in the top 15, you were expecting them to start at some point. Yeah. I am a big fan of letting them play right away because the only way for them to get better is through those reps in the game. you can go through practice and, the defense is, let him sit a year, let him learn the system, let him go through No, that's not the way that they're going to learn. They're not going to learn from mistakes in practice. They're going to learn from mistakes in the game. Let them maybe not do as well in the first year. Let them get those in-game reps, those invaluable reps against starting defenses.
Yeah.
Let them do it. And I don't understand why these teams draft quarterbacks and let them sit behind. I don't like the heir apparent thing. If you're going to draft a guy, fucking start him.
Well, I get the heir apparent guy if you have somebody like a Rodgers, a Brady, a Russell Wilson who you think you can squeeze like a little more out of them.
Sure.
And let them learn from one of the greats of their position. That makes sense. Like what Tampa Bay is doing with Kyle Trask. He was not a first-round pick, but he's going to sit behind Brady. He also looked really, really good in their preseason game. So, yeah, let them sit behind a great, but what benefit is Justin Fields going to have sitting behind Andy Dalton?
What benefit is Trevor Lawrence going to go through in the competition with Gardner Minshew? That is what I don't understand. Why is there a competition when you draft somebody number 1 overall?
Listen,
why is there a competition?
I don't think there's a real competition in Jacksonville. I think that Urban Meyer just said that to push Trevor Lawrence, because if a guy comes in and he just knows he's the starter immediately, like maybe he's not going to have that fire, that fuel to be the best he can be. But if you're like, hey, it's open, even though our backup is Gardner Minshew, maybe it's going to push him a little more. I'm okay with that because you want to push players. You want to incite competition because competition makes people better. I'm okay with that.
What I'm not okay with is what the Bears are doing. And I'm not okay with, as much as I hate to say it, what the 49ers are doing, right? They drafted Trey Lance. Jimmy G is already, he knows he's not their guy for the future.
Yeah.
He knows it. He's on it. He's alone.
And he looked good in the preseason too.
Why would you do that? Why would you deprive your future guy of those valuable reps?
I don't have an answer for you because I'm not an NFL head coach and I'm not an NFL GM, so I don't know. But based on what I saw in the first NFL snaps that Justin Fields got, he looks like a starter, and he looks like a damn good one.
Yeah, the way his pocket presence is really great, and his very Russell Wilson-y.
Mm-hmm. He had a couple throws where he was rolling out to his right, and he threw back across his body, not like entirely across his body, but he threw back to his left, and they were just on the money. They were fantastic throws. He looked like an NFL starter.
Okay. My hot take. Jonathan Taylor, second year back for the Colts, is going to be a better fantasy running back than Zeke. Jonathan Taylor had a slow start to his rookie season, but holy shit, from weeks 10 to 17, he rushed for 741 yards and 7 touchdowns. That's on pace for like almost 2,000 yards, like 19 touchdowns across all of the fantasy sites, whatever it may be. He finished between the number 4 and the number 6 ranked running back. Zeke finished, lower in the top 10, still a top 10 running back.
He had a down year.
He had a down year. The Colts, and I guess you can say the Cowboys, have premier offensive lines.
Yep.
Jonathan Taylor put up the 5th highest points per game in a PPR league as a 21-year-old since the year 2000. Only Saquon, Clinton Portis, Maurice Jones-Drew, the only other people who had higher points per game. That's pretty elite company.
Yeah, it is.
There were 4 running backs with 35 or more runs of over 10 yards last season. Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, Nick Chubb, Jonathan Taylor. He's fantastic. I'm high on him. I'm not drafting him this year. We did our fantasy draft. We determined the order. You were at number 4. I'm at number 2. Miles, you're at number 9.
Yeah, I think it's rigged. I think it's definitely rigged.
You think it's rigged?
No, yeah. It's not. And I know Sherm is a corrupt commissioner. When it comes, hey, I'm talking. Be quiet, please. You said you don't interrupt me, so don't interrupt me. Thank you. Okay, so I know that Sherm is a corrupt commissioner, and there has been a lot of controversy in his leagues in the past. But let me tell you what, I watched him set the draft order, and it was 100% random. And when he got the number 2 pick, he was not happy about it. Let me tell you. And he goes, I'm doing this again. Let's do best out of 3. And I go, nope.
Did
You got to
video it?
stick with it. What?
Is there video proof of this?
There is no video proof of this.
You got pick 4, which
I got
is
pick
pretty
4.
great.
It is great.
You might be in on it too.
No, it was random. 100% it was random. He wanted to do it again, and then if he still didn't like his pick, he was going to do it again. So I prevented him from being a corrupt commissioner, and I will die on that stake.
I'm with Miles, though. The fact that you got 4 seems awfully fishy.
Listen, do you think? I mean, like originally, I wasn't happy drafting at number 2, but this is
You
the
were
way.
sulking upstairs. You were like, You had a little,
Wait, excuse me. What was I like? What was I like? Make sure you get it on camera. Make sure you get it on camera. Yeah.
yeah. You had pouty boy face. You were pissed. You were slamming your keyboard. You were
Oh,
like,
horse shit.
Fuck the number 2 draft. I hate this. This sucks. I don't get to pick for 18 picks. Poor me. I get Dalvin Cook.
Jesus, you need to go to fucking therapy. Dude.
You know what I think? I think the league winner of last year should get to pick the draft order.
Listen.
Can we at least say who that was?
It was you.
It was you.
I want to thank you.
You won. You
But
won.
I wasn't in the league last year. So
What were you doing again?
it's kind of a false championship. I was saving the world.
No,
Thank
he was
you.
not saving the world.
world.
He was blowing up birthday candles.
I was
getting
saving.
Digging holes. You are a glorified Shia LaBeouf. Let's slow our roll.
You're 0.
No, I was saving homes, wildlife, and forests.
Oh God.
So
Here we go. Fire preacher. Jesus. No, I think this is the way to do it from now on, is determining the draft order ahead of time so you can practice and do the mock drafts.
100% it is.
I was pleasantly surprised after doing a few mock drafts. I was able to actually come up with a pretty good team sitting at number 2. And usually I'm not a big fan of drafting that early because you have those long pick runs between 2 to whatever, 19 or 18. But, you know, what's going on over there? What are we?
She's trying to show me a picture of me back in my firefighting days.
Oh, and you
my-
didn't shave?
Of my dirty ass face.
Can I see?
Yeah. Show that to the camera.
Oh, Jesus.
show,
Fuck.
show that to the camera.
But-
That, ladies and gentlemen, is what hard work looks like.
Okay. Nice.
For anyone who couldn't read the caption, it says thinking about making a calendar.
Thinking about making a calendar.
Yeah, a hot firefighter calendar. That
Let me tell you.
Listen. It was an idea that the crew that I was with last year came up with. We're like, we should make a calendar, and they asked me, they're like, "What month do you want?" And I was like, "I want fucking February. That's my birthday month." And I said, "I'm gonna wear chaps with no pants, a chainsaw, and there's gonna be a little heart over my yoo-hoo."
What's the Adam Sandler month? Isn't he Mr. February? Or
I have no idea.
no, from where he pretends to be gay with
That is shit.
they call him some Mr. whatever his
What
month
movie
is.
was that? I pronounced you Chuck and Larry?
Yeah,
Yes.
Chuck and Larry. I thought it was Mr. February, but maybe not.
Listen here. I would pay money to not have that calendar.
We should do a Backburners calendar, a little like seductive, and every month is a different sport. So like 1 month is you guys in like only football helmets.
Right.
Next month is you guys just holding like just lacrosse sticks.
So yeah, next month is us holding up baseball gloves against our yoo-hoos.
Yeah, you guys can do a basketball and a baseball
some
one.
cricket paddles.
Basketball and baseball is the exact same picture, but the ball's just smaller.
I don't know if
some
basketball
kids'
would work.
basketballs.
Basketball might not work. They're like 5'4".
Hey,
Okay.
It's just
Oh,
for
listen.
a calendar.
Yeah. Nobody's measuring
for the
calendars.
All right, I'll buy it.
You will?
I'll buy it
Okay.
for the cause, for the Backburners cause.
How much would you pay for a Backburners calendar?
Since I'm a fan, I'd pay $50
$50. Okay.
for the cause, not for the calendar. For the
Okay.
cause.
so
I honestly think we're getting pretty close to Christmas time with the new year coming around. It's not our worst idea.
that's
Okay.
a good point.
Chef LeBoom, can you do a poll in our story of how many dollars people would pay? Let's do
Less
zero,
than
less than 20.
No, let's not do that. Let's just do would you buy a Backburners
Okay,
calendar?
yeah.
Like a
Yes.
make sure
We'll
it's
make it a
seductive.
reasonable price.
Make sure they know it's seductive.
Yes. So we've been watching a lot of Whose Line Is It Anyway at at the house because it's on HBO, and that show is hilarious. And they do something where it's a infographic of a CD. So this sounds like a little bit of that, where it's like, how much would you pay for a Backburners seductive calendar?
Right, it does. It does sound like a good bit. That's a great show. I totally forgot about that
Such a good
show.
show.
I love comedy. I love, and especially improv. That is a different beast. Also, Chef LaBoom, thank you for your HBO subscription.
Yes,
we really
thank you.
appreciate that. Thank you for your parting gift. We really appreciate that.
Mm-mm.
No,
I have my
It's-
own Hulu, or it's
excuse me,
his Hulu.
it's my Hulu. Anyways,
That got way off topic.
well, ADHD. How about most likely? Samuel Tiller. Who is most likely to lead the league in passing yards this season, and who is most likely to rush for the most yards this season?
So for passing yards, I'm going to go with my MVP prediction, Mr. Justin Herbert.
Okay. Wow.
You
Okay.
didn't see that one coming, did you?
I thought you were going to say Josh Allen.
No. Justin Herbert. I think he's going to throw close to 5,000 yards. I think he's going to have a monster year. And look, a bunch of people hate it when I say that he's going to be the MVP, but I truly believe he's going to be the MVP of this year. And to do that, he's going to need to throw for almost 5,000 yards and 45-ish touchdowns.
You think his
And-
second year
Yeah,
jump is going to be that big?
absolutely. I think it's going to be that big. I think he's going to lead the league in passing yards. You disagree, but that's fine.
I do. I do disagree.
Rushing yards, I don't think there's anybody else who makes any kind of sense. It's Derrick Henry.
Yep.
It's the king. He's unstoppable in the run game. He averages like 4 yards a rush. It's ridiculous. At least 3, 4, maybe 5 times a year, he has a 90-plus yard rushing touchdown. It's insane to watch. For a man to be that big, that strong, and that fast, it doesn't make sense. He is a nightmare matchup for every defense in the NFL. He rushed for almost 1,600 yards last year. I think he goes over that this year. I think he's pushing 2,000, and he's pushing the NFL all-time single-season rushing, which is 2,108 yards, I believe.
Was that Chris, John?
It was Eric Dickerson.
Oh.
Way back in the day with the Rams. I think he's pushing 2,000 yards. I think he gets relatively close to the NFL record. I don't think he breaks it, but he's going to lead the league in rushing. There's no better. If you're talking strictly running back, he's the best.
Mm-hmm.
He's not great catching the ball because he's too big and he doesn't have great hands. But when you want to talk about somebody running the football, he's the best in the league. There's no question about it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. All right. What's your
Mm.
most likely?
That's right. I got to ask you a question. Which is most likely to happen? A team goes 17-0 this year for the first time in NFL history, or a team will go 0-17 for the first time in NFL history?
It's an easy answer, and it's 0-17.
Really?
I think so.
And who is it?
I have two candidates.
Okay.
The Texans.
Yep.
I don't know what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson. Nobody knows.
does.
They lost Will Fuller. They lost D-Hop. They lost J.J. Watt. They traded for David Johnson, who's way out of his prime.
Mm-hmm.
They do have the 15th easiest schedule. So, jury's out on them. It's all, I mean, their defense is atrocious. They have no weapons. Like, they're fucked.
They are.
They're fucked for a long time.
Yeah.
My other candidate is the Lions. They lose Kenny Galladay. They lose Marvin Jones. They get Jared Goff. Woo! They do have the 6th easiest schedule.
Yeah, but
And Dan Campbell is going to teach them to bite kneecaps, which we did talk about, I think, a couple of weeks ago. I think that they bite more kneecaps than they have wins next year.
Okay, that's interesting.
I'm going to go with if the situation with Deshaun Watson, and it's not looking good for him.
No.
It's not looking super great for
No.
Deshaun Watson.
And even if his legal troubles don't come to anything, he still has said publicly recently that he doesn't want to play for the Texans.
Right. He demanded a trade. He wants out.
Even if he's eligible to play, I don't think he's going to because he doesn't want to play for them.
Yeah.
Real quick, what are his legal troubles?
Well, it's not super great. My understanding of his legal troubles is that I believe it's 22 women have come out.
It's a lot.
And have said that he has sexually assaulted them. I believe that it started with massages.
Yeah, he was basically, from what I understand, he was forcing masseuses to give him happy endings to his massages.
And it was one person, and then it was more than one person.
And
now
then
it's
it turned into
it's
a
like
lot.
24 women have come out and said, yeah,
It's a lot.
he has demanded
I've
that.
heard of another pretty famous predator doing a similar thing.
Who's that?
Epstein.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that was underage girls, mainly.
Yeah. Have you watched that?
Yeah, his is obviously a whole different breed of crazy, but
Yeah.
the whole massage thing is.
Ugh, God.
Yeah, it's
I watched that documentary on Epstein.
I did not watch
Oh, my
that.
God.
I feel like a child predator just for
fucking-
enduring the
dude.
whole thing. It's ridiculous.
Do not watch that.
It's so
It
bad.
is disgusting. Wow, that's a fun way to end this show. Jesus Christ.
So you don't think there's a team that has the chance to go 17-0? Because I can think of one. It's the Chiefs.
Do you know their strength of schedule?
Nope,
I mean, they do play in the AFC West.
it's pretty weak. I know they play the Bucks and the Bills, so that's tough.
I mean, no, I think more likely than not, if that situation were to happen, I think it's 0-17.
Okay.
Just because I think that the bad teams are so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the Jaguars, who I don't know what's going to happen with them this season.
I mean, they're not going to be good, but
No.
they're not going to go 0-17 because
No.
they play the Texans week 1.
Okay. So they'll start out 1-0. Yeah, I mean, the Jags are going to be bad. The Lions,
The Jets,
the Jets, the Texans.
the Broncos.
Yeah, jury's out on the Broncos. It's all on the quarterback. It's really who's going to step up. Is it going to be Teddy Bridgewater or is it going to be Drew Lock?
I think the verdict has been handed to the judge on Drew Lock, and he sucks.
He is a better dancer on the sidelines than he is a quarterback. So I think jury's out on the Broncos. You're really high on the Panthers.
There's no chance they go 0-17.
No, I'm just saying, it's just a random team to be so high on.
Their offense is so good. DJ Moore, CMC, Robbie Anderson, an improved defense, Sam Darnold, who I think is going to revitalize his NFL career there under Matt Rule. I'm high on him. They were almost my pick for Nicky Scott's Super Bowl surprise.
Wow.
And they're at plus 8,000.
Wow. I'm glad you didn't say them because we need money. You hear that, listeners? We're going to start a Patreon. Isn't that, Trav, we talked about doing a Patreon a little while ago.
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should still do it. Maybe just put all the video stuff on there for a little incentive, or maybe some bonus content, or more interaction with the listeners. Tons of stuff you can do on there.
I had an idea. What if we start a Backburners OnlyFans?
No.
Please?
Honestly, it's literally the exact same thing as Patreon, and it's kind of hilarious to have it on OnlyFans. And that was the original intent of OnlyFans. So I think we would really just be, I don't know, pitchforking the market or spearheading the market.
So here's another poll for Mistress
Would you
Laboom.
subscribe to it?
Do you
Backburners
subscribe to our
OnlyFans?
OnlyFans or Patreon? Which are you more likely to have on your debit card statement?
Yeah.
That's the only problem is like you have an OnlyFans on there and your mom sees
Listen,
it and
if
you're just like, I swear it's from my buddy's podcast. And I'm just like, I just don't believe you. And it's like, I'll show it to you. They're not naked.
Looking at the bank statement. What is this? What are you looking at OnlyFans?
I think it's actually discreet. I think they actually
do they make it like a
it says you just bought some like it looks like you just bought something off like a sketchy Russian website. It doesn't say like OnlyFans on there, I'm pretty sure. It's kind of like a lot of porn sites do that too cuz they don't want like your wife finding out that
right,
you
it's like
pay for
drinking
porn.
it's like drinking in a park with a paper bag.
That's all it is.
You don't want
It's a
people
brown
to know
bag.
what you're really doing.
But that's not super discreet though. Like if you're drinking out of a paper bag in a park, people are gonna be like, "That's a Four Loko."
Okay. But if we do start an OnlyFans, we're gonna have to start hitting the gym like hardcore because we want people to like enjoy what they're
Yeah.
subscribing to.
If we start an OnlyFans, I feel like we have to start doing this podcast like shirtless or naked, or in Speedos or something.
Listen.
I think
Hey,
actually the listeners might like it because they would be able to subscribe to an OnlyFans and then they could see how it'll test like on their bank statement or if people will notice like how noticeable it is that you subscribe to an OnlyFans, and then that might encourage them to go out and import some other young female independent sex workers.
right.
So I think we're doing something great here.
We are all about women's empowerment on this podcast.
We're gonna be your test run for what OnlyFans comes up on as your bank account.
Will your girlfriend
right.
find out?
right. Is there anything else? I mean, we're out of show. Anything else we want to add?
No.
I mean,
I want to hear some closing remarks from Miles.
Well, yeah. What are your general thoughts of this is your first time being here? What have you thought so far?
This was awesome. The studio is super cool. And I'm going to have to agree real quick on Tiller's thought about the Panthers.
Thank you.
Just like everyone gang up on me.
I had to put that in there. The Panthers are going to be good this year. Sam Darnold is going to come back and really show his skill. He's been stuck with the Jets for 4 or 5 years now?
4, I think.
Yeah.
No
Unlucky.
offensive weapons. He's had nobody.
Nobody. And he's got the weapons now, and Panthers are going to be good.
And he had potentially one of the worst head coaches in NFL history with the crackhead
Right.
Adam Gase.
These are his eyes.
Yeah, that guy was insane.
This is his eyes. Are you going to really run through the tunnel thinking about, I'm going to make a play for this guy?
I would definitely run from that guy.
I would run from him. He's ruined a lot of quarterbacks.
But the only one he hasn't ruined is Peyton Manning. He was his OC in Denver.
Oh God.
But like Adam Gase would call plays and Peyton would be like, nope, and then he'd just call his own.
Omaha.
So, yeah.
Omaha.
Adam Gase wasn't the OC of that Broncos team. It was Peyton Manning.
Yeah. Well, anything else we want to add, Miles?
Are we doing a La Rocca segment today?
No.
Start that next
Do you
week.
have anything you want to add?
Nice.
Not really much to add tonight. I mean, kind of just let you guys talk. I zoned out a little bit at the end there. I will say I enjoyed your Remember the Titans pick. I agree with you on that. That is
Thank you.
my all-time favorite sports movie to watch. It makes me bawl my eyes out every time.
It's super sad.
It's so good.
It's super heartwarming.
It is so good. I do have a question. Have you guys watched Ted Lasso?
No.
Have
I
you
don't
heard
even
of
know.
it?
No, don't even know what it is.
So it's Jason Sudeikis.
Can you talk a little bit more into the mic?
Yeah. It's Jason Sudeikis, and he's an American football coach from Kansas, I think. He's got this thick Southern accent and gets
From Kansas.
gets hired to coach a British soccer team.
Oh, is that the Apple?
Yes, it's on Apple TV.
Yeah, no, I'm not watching that.
Really?
No,
I thought you would be into it.
It's so good. It's like Jason Sudeikis just talking like he's from the South. So, I mean, he's just making like analogies left and right, saying like, I don't know, just random Southern things. And then the British people have their own slang and they just don't understand each other like half the
It's
time. And
so
he's
funny.
like,
he's also never coached soccer before. He doesn't know anything about soccer because he's a football coach, not a soccer coach. And he's going to coach like a Premier League team. And he's only ever coached like, I think, college football or like high school football or something.
And he doesn't believe in winning. He just believes in trying hard and leaving it all out on the pitch, is what they say over across the pond.
It's so
And
good.
like we just watched the season finale of the first season, and like in the middle of the game, he like goes up to the ref. He's like, "Why the hell is that offsides?" And he's like, "No, actually, I still don't understand the offsides."
I
but,
need
like,
you to
can you
explain
please
to me what
explain it?"
offsides are.
But that's not a movie. That's a TV show.
No, it's not. It just I thought of it.
I think you guys
because
would
you're
really,
such a big soccer fan. Soccer isn't the main point of the show, but it's hilarious. I highly recommend it. I will give you my Apple TV login.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go.
But
Hell yeah.
you have to watch it though. If you get the Apple TV
All right, I
login
will.
and
I
you
will
don't
only give
watch
it to
it,
you if you watch it. There's 2 seasons out now.
I can guarantee you that I will watch that if you give me your Apple sign-in.
No buying anything.
That's when have we? Okay, we're not getting into this right now.
Give me that. Give me that mic back. You've lost all privileges. You think we buy things? Listen. I love that we said that we're going to do a short show tonight.
And it wasn't.
We're at an hour.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a fun time here.
Super fun.
And with that, that concludes this episode of the Backburners. Shout out to my co-host, SpongeBob Squarehead. Shout out to Miles. Thanks for being here, pal.
Thanks for inviting me.
You're so welcome. I'm glad we can hear you. I'm glad you're speaking up this time. Thank you, Chef LaRocca, for all you do for us. HBO Max, mediocre TikToks,
And now Apple TV.
Apple TV, Instagram, and thank you, Fabio, for this amazing safe space. Oh, look at this. I know. Was this up last week?
We
Yeah.
took a picture in front of this.
No.
before
I know.
we
No, I'm
started.
just saying.
Yes.
Was this
Yes,
up last week?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Backburners Pod and give us a listen on your favorite streaming service. We're The Backburners, and we'll whisper sweet nothings in your ear next week. See ya!
Bye, everybody.